What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe show, the home of Epic Conversations. And I'm the host of Epic Conversations, 2018 Innovation Award winner, 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads, fathers, and male caregivers. It's sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And being part of that movement, we've reached out directly and indirectly to over 500,000 dads, fathers, and male caregivers around the world. And as always, I like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. And we are broadcasting live on the day before Valentine's Day, February 13th. And also some people say February 13th is an unlucky day, but we don't believe in luck. We're at the right place. We're in the right time. Good morning, Ryan Knight.
Hey, good day, Dr. Vibe. I see we switched back to StreamYard. I have to get my backgrounds all adjusted because I was doing the Night Owl show with StreamYard before. But always good to see you. And for those that are just remembering who I am, I'm Ryan Knight, one of the co-founders of the Afro Caribbean Business Network. So we support entrepreneurs of African and Caribbean heritage, really to figure out what stage the business is in, then help them create a strategy to grow their companies exponentially. And I'm an entrepreneur myself. I do run a company called Detailing Nights. We provide mobile waterless car cleaning. So we go to people's houses or their offices, clean their cars on the spot without using water, and our plant-based eco-friendly cleaning supplies. And not sure if you've been seeing my WhatsApp, but a very cool event is happening next week with the Jamaican consulate. So Kirk Davis is doing, well, they're putting together like a Jamaican Canadian business advisory. So that organization is doing a forum next Tuesday at the JCA, the Jamaican Canadian Association Center. So looking forward to that. So if you know entrepreneurs of Jamaican heritage, definitely share with them that event is happening. We'd love to have them there.
Well, thank you, as always, for sharing what's going on out on the streets, so to speak. What is the framework or structure of the event, since you seem to know a lot more than I do?
Yeah, it's just introducing different resources that entrepreneurs can tap into, and then getting feedback on what they want to see from this Jamaican Canadian business advisory. So it's like a mini panel section and then an open forum for people to give ideas and thoughts.
Okay. Are you on any of the panels?
Yes, we're letting them know about ACBN.
Right.
Yes.
Reverend Ryan goes, he's asked to be on a panel.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And even next week is pretty heavy because BDC, they're doing an event on the Thursday, so February the 19th, called Game Changers, which highlights their loan programs and the Black entrepreneurship ecosystem, the different resources there. So looking forward to that.
Okay. You must have other events. You just can't have two. It wouldn't be Ryan Knight if you just had two events in a week.
I'm trying to think of where do I need to be next week?
Where do I need to be next week?
What did I commit to?
OMG.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Black Talent Initiative, they're doing an event the following week. I think it's a 3-day conference, the 25th, 26th, and 27th. But yeah, for next show, I'll have more info on that one, but not next week.
Okay. All right. And people are already in the house this morning. Good morning, Fitness IQ Cam. Hope you're doing fine. Another viewer here saying, always great to hear you guys. Oh, thank you. All right. And Roger Dundas is in the house. GM, good morning, family. And good to have you all here. So what's been going on otherwise this week? Any wins that you've had this week?
Yeah, got to visit 2 high schools yesterday. So North Park in Brampton and Carthura in Carthura. Is this Carthura Park? No, Carthura Secondary School. To try and encourage the youth there to get the summer company grant that the province of Ontario gives.
Yes.
The applications are now, so you can get up to $3,000.
I was actually involved with the summer company as an advisor 2 summers ago.
Okay, nice.
Actually, I should reach out. You know what? You remind me, because I should probably, and I actually have a person I know from my university days who's been involved with the City of Toronto small business for about 25 years. He's been there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Thank you
So
for
that's
putting us
where
on my
people, if
company.
you have high school students or college, university students, they can get up to $3,000 to run a business in the summer. So even if
Yeah, we're talking Toronto area, folks, because we got people all over the place. They're gonna go, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm talking somewhat. I think almost every major borough or part of the Greater Toronto has a summer company-ish program.
yeah, because it's a provincial grant, so it should
Okay,
be
yeah,
all
there
of
we go.
Ontario.
There we
But
go.
yeah.
There we go. Okay, look at this. Emma's in the house.
Hey, Emma.
Emma will be with us a week from this Monday. So we actually chatted
Gotcha.
about you before we went live today, Emma.
Yes, yes.
So hope you're doing fine. Look at this. Sending blessings from Melbourne, Australia. Wow.
Nice, nice.
Okay. Okay.
That
All
looks
right.
like a different person from Australia. Wasn't there another gentleman?
Yes, there is. And actually, I was doing some stuff online. I forget David. Can't remember David's
And he's
last.
big into Toastmasters.
Yes, he's been involved in Toastmasters but I can't remember his last name. It's going to bother me. Oh, but we'll get through it. We'll get through it. The world of AI is really, really crazy, and it's ironic. We're chatting here at Fitness IQ. Cam, you were the first. Is it Anthropic, one of the big AI companies? I think they just released an AI to do your taxes.
Okay, because they launched Opus 4.6. And
yeah, I know it was either them or
world.
somebody else. And when I heard that, the first person I thought about was Fitness IQ Cam, because she does taxes, personal and corporate taxes. What's happening, and the funny thing is, a lot of big companies that do tax, their stocks went down.
Not just down, they lost $238 billion of market cap by the drops. So yes. they're saying this is what people feared that AI was going to do to the status quo, because just that release, people are like, oh, all these stocks aren't worth what they say they're worth. It's great.
Well, yeah.
So Anthropic's the one that does Claude, if people are keeping track.
Yeah, they are really doing some, especially them. And I've been listening to some commentators. It almost seems like all the companies are ganging up on AI, on open AI. They all want to gang up.
Hey, when you're at the top of the mountain, you become the one with the #1 headband. So everybody's coming for you.
Yeah, they're coming for them. And it's interesting though. The thing is, I think only 20% of the people that use OpenAI are paying for it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I could see that.
This is why a lot of financial people, like stock people, saying, okay, will this be another Amazon when one day eventually turns it around? Or are they going to go under? Or even more tragic, since a certain president has such good relations with the tech bros, will they come to him for money, like a bailout, like in the banks many years ago when we had the financial crash? Because by going down this road, if you look at the New York Stock Exchange, 40% of the value is held by 10 companies, all 10 tech companies.
So we'll get into that fail kind of thing.
If they crash, right?
Well,
look at this. Now, so another person says, "Hey, just read the world's first AI dating cafe is opening up in New York City."
So hold on, people are going to a physical cafe to date AI people. What? I have to see what that's about.
All right, frequency of information says greetings and salutations. Thank you. And one of the things I'm noticing, almost every person that's made a comment this morning is watching from their phone.
Oh, gotcha.
Which is really interesting because Ranium, we never had you in here, and thank you for being here. You're watching on your phone, which is very nice, very nice. But yeah, it's like and I'm trying to access. There was an article put out by a gentleman this week about how AI is just taking over everything, and it's put out on Fortune magazine. It's had over 50 million views.
Gotcha. Nice.
Right.
And there was an analysis that a gentleman did. I was watching.
Oh yeah.
Because now that so everyone's watching Super Bowl, and there were so many
Tech.
AI ads pretty much took over Super Bowl ads. But something interesting happened with other bubbles. So when I think around 2000, the dot-com bubble was happening.
Same thing,
The year
yes.
before was a lot of internet ads and this and that, pets.com, and then the crash happened. And then
They're
the other
saying
one
the same
was,
could be the same thing here.
right? And then cryptocurrency also happened where FTX and Coinbase and all these, I think it was Byte, one of those other cryptocurrency companies, it was all the rage in the Super Bowl ads, and then it imploded.
There you
so
go.
I'm wondering, is this the AI moment?
History.
Who's gonna
History.
survive? So if you were to guess, similar to how kind of Amazon and eBay survived the dot-com crash, who would be the AI players that you feel would survive if it did crash, like how those did?
Facebook, Google, because they have other lines of business, right?
Yeah.
And Google is just they're being beastly when it comes to AI. They're just like next level. But I think I think Facebook and Google would be still there at the end.
Right.
It'll be very interesting to see what the future of NVIDIA would be if that happened, because they sell all the chips that power this AI revolution. But I definitely think Facebook and Google would still do well because they have such a large footprint on top of the AI. Like they were doing stuff before AI, where all these companies are just AI focused. They have other products and services on top of it. That's just my thought. I'm no stock market expert, please. I'm just putting that out there. We got other people coming in this morning. So Frequency Event Promotion says, what is it? Oh, it goes, your screen is portrait versus landscape. Yes. Michelle Baptiste, good to have you here. This gentleman's watching from iPad. Good. And good morning, Opal Inspired. If you haven't, please support our artistic channel. Are you at 1,000K subscribers yet? We need to know that. But yes, we got lots of people watching from their phone, which is a good thing. It's a good thing.
Nice.
But yeah, and we're at the halfway point of almost at the halfway point of Black History Month. So going to be interesting to see what happens. And so I think we're going to go to a little break. We have our monthly visit from Carolyn Nichol.
Nice.
Right now she's on her phone because she's always got people on the go, but that's all right. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of a break. Oh, Opal Inspire says 11 more to go till 1,000K. Yeah, all right.
Okay, sweet.
Actually, quick little thing. I was speaking with some gentlemen yesterday, and I think one of the major Black podcasting organizations in the U.S., the two people that founded are saying, you know what, we can't give all the time we need to this, and we'd like to know if anyone else would like to run it.
Gotcha.
So one of the gentlemen said, Dr. Vibe, you should put your hat in the ring.
Okay.
And I'm going, well, first of all, I'm not American. That could be a little bit of a pushback. But I may just ask them and say, hey, what's involved in running it? And also, it's just got to be worth my time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got to be worth and I know that African/Black Americans can have challenges with outsiders running their things. So I don't know. Okay, hold on. Frequency of Brent Promotions, I thought I sent you this. Still waiting for email what you need on both of your cups.
Oh my goodness. Send that long
say it
time.
right now for him because say it right now, Ryan. You had brought it up. What was it?
Start your day with the morning vibe or with the right vibe.
Start your day with the right vibe. Okay.
Yes.
Frequency of Brent Promotions. You heard it? Start your day with the right vibe.
Yes,
Done.
the logo.
Okay. Everyone heard you. Everyone heard it now who watched this live on the replay.
Yes.
Okay. It's done. Okay. All right. So let's, please send the email. Okay. I'll have to remember. Okay. I got to write this down now because if I don't remind, okay. Start. I've got to write it down because your day with the right vibe.
The right vibe.
Right. Yeah, because so many things will happen during the show. I won't remember, and Ryan will be gone. I said, Ryan, do you remember? Okay. Okay. So, Open Inspired, there are 2 video entries showing right now. One is this one and a live stream in vertical format. Yeah, there's 2 formats. Purposely done. Yes, in vertical format. That's purposely done. That is on purpose. That is what it's meant to be. All right. Let's get banner. All right. So let's get this off. We're going to go to a quick break. We're going to do some housekeeping, and then we're going to get Carolyn Nichol on. So, you know what? Let me just see. Oh, okay. All right. Well, we're going to do this. Here we go.
Let's watch Black Canada Talking live on Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern, where Dr. Vibe and Cesar Demamusa give their takes and POVs on news stories from a Black Canadian perspective.
Let's watch The Morning Vibe live on Mondays and Fridays at 9 a.m. Eastern, where Dr. Vibe and Ryan Knight discuss important subjects between themselves or have conversations with people who you need to know about.
We are back, and the comments are flying in this morning. And
Sweet.
Opal says, okay. All right, now, it's one of the things we do have to deal with at times with this format. All right, let me do that. All right, so let's do some housekeeping. Subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button. Like the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Substack. Join our Discord group. Email me at dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com, or click on the link to advertise your business, product, or service on our show. Please email me, dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. Can't forget our good friend Dr. Tachi, who programs Indie Soup TV, independent content creators platform, about 25 to 30 independent content creators, and over 28,000 YouTube subscribers in 2.5 years of operation. A lot of our stuff is on there, so we got to like that. All right. So to introduce Carolyn properly and the topic of the day properly today, I did a little thing here. So got about 2.5 minutes of setup for Carolyn. So I want everybody to watch this.
Take a moment and listen not to the world around you, but to yourself. That steady rhythm in your chest, that's your heart, the first organ to begin beating when you're born and the last to stop when you leave this world. It works without rest, over 100,000 beats a day, quietly keeping you alive. But too often, we don't give our hearts the care they deserve until something goes wrong. Heart disease remains one of the leading causes of death, yet the truth is, most heart problems can be prevented. The power is in our daily choices. It's in what we eat, how we move, how we handle stress, and how often we check in with our doctors. Let's start with food, fuel for the heart. Think of every meal as an investment in your future. Fresh fruits, vegetables, whole grains, fish, and lean proteins help your arteries stay clear and your blood pressure stay balanced. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Replace one sugary drink with water. Cook one meal at home instead of grabbing fast food. Those small changes build up over time. Movement is your heart's best friend. You don't need a gym membership, just consistency. A brisk walk, dancing to your favorite song, playing with your kids, or climbing the stairs, it all counts. About 30 minutes a day adds years to your life and life to your years. But let's not forget, stress, that silent strain that weighs heavy on the heart. Chronic stress raises blood pressure and heart attack risk. So breathe, relax, and unplug when you need to. Read, pray, meditate, or spend time with people who lift your spirits. Your peace of mind is as vital as any medication. Now, here's something many people overlook: knowing your numbers. Blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar, these are your body's early warning signs. You can't fix what you don't measure. Regular checkups give you the information you need to take control before a crisis happens. Ultimately, heart health isn't just about living longer, it's about living better. More energy, more confidence, more time to be there for the people and passions that matter. Every heartbeat is a second chance to make choices that support your future. So let's make a promise to ourselves and to each other to eat a little better, move a little more, stress a little less, and get those checkups. Because every beat counts, and every day gives us a new reason to protect the heart that carries us through life.
All right. Well, welcome to the stage.
Cool. I love
Our
it.
dear friend, Colin Nicol, certified holistic nutritionist at the Energy Shack Juice Bar and Whisk Gluten-Free Bakery. So, Carolyn, good morning. Did you like the video? You're on mute.
I said I did. I don't have to say anything anymore. The show's over.
Right.
Well, when you come on, we got to do one of these.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
wonderful.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm really great. I'm super wonderful. Yes, I'm feeling good. I'm happy to be here. Good morning, Ryan. Good morning,
Yeah, good
Dr.
to see
Vibe.
you.
Good morning, audience.
Good
Are
morning.
you in town or in Sudbury?
Sudbury.
Oh, okay.
Motorcycle in the back. That's Sudbury.
Oh, gotcha.
And Opal Inspired
cool.
says, good morning, Carolyn. So that is good. Good to see. Good to
Morning.
see you. So what's been going on with Energy Shack Juice Bar and Whisk Gluten-Free that we need to know about?
Yes, yes.
Well, we have a retreat coming up in 2 weeks. That's our
Nice.
February retreat. There's still room left if you want to jump in, February
Yeah.
26th to March 1st. So that's really exciting. We actually have some guests coming up from the US to join our retreat. So that's super, super exciting. And then we also have, it's not just for women, but we have a health and wealth seminar happening in Vaughan the evening of March 7th, where we'll have some vendors there, and we will be teaching finance and nutrition and how health and wealth go together. So it's a free seminar. There's a free light dinner that will be served, and there'll be some vendors there, and we'll also be celebrating International Women's Day as well. So I'm excited about that.
Wonderful.
Solid. Congrats.
Wonderful.
That's awesome. And what time of the year does the expo happen?
So usually the expo happens around May, but we are still deciding if that's going to happen or not. Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So we may do something a little different, like something more practical, hands-on natural remedies. We're still figuring it out. But the beginning of the year is very, very busy for Energy Shack because everybody's detoxing, and we have our weight loss challenge program happening, which, by the way, if somebody wants to lose a bit of weight in a really fun setting, March 2nd, we have the Ultimate Weight Loss Challenge with a $500 cash prize.
Ooh,
Yeah,
nice.
so it's a really great opportunity to join, and you'll have a personal trainer on every week doing exercise with you, lots of challenges, so you don't have to just lose weight to win. Just accomplish the challenge, you'll get points, and the person with the most points wins. So we're really excited about that. So anyway, with that being said, we kind of have to get the retreat past us and the challenge started, and then we'll focus on what we're doing for the May Expo.
Okay, very cool.
So before you get into the 3 best ways to love your heart health, I have a conversation piece for you. When you hear the phrase, quote, love your heart, unquote, what does that mean from a holistic nutrition perspective, not just medically, but emotionally and spiritually as well?
Yeah, very good question. So when I think of that question, I think of, what hurts and what damages. Because you wouldn't want to intentionally do something that hurts and damages to someone or something that you love, right? You're not going to take your brand new vehicle and just hope you'll make it between these 2 cement blocks. You're just not going to do something intentionally that damages. And so when you love your heart, you're really being intentional about not doing damage. But I think with that comes knowledge and understanding of what does damage it. Yeah, so it's not just, what good things can I do to my heart, but what things will I stop doing that cause it problems. And that's like, that's like relationship wide, that goes through every, a person that you love in your life. It's not just what can I do to make them happy, but what can I do to stop, hurting them, upsetting them, annoying them, even though that, maybe I like being sarcastic, but the person that I'm being sarcastic to takes it personally. Maybe I just have to change my sarcastic personality and not be sarcastic towards them, because as much as I think it's funny, if it hurts them, I should stop doing it. So loving your heart is just being intentional about not creating damage, even if that is a comfortable place for you.
Yeah, and they say like in relationships, communication is that big piece, but the other person can let you know that you're hurting them. Your heart doesn't really let you know until it just is like too long.
100%.
Right. So I'm curious, what can we do to listen more? Is it giving us signs that we're just ignoring? So yeah.
Okay. So Carolyn, what I'm going to suggest is that you have your 3 best ways. I'll let you get through your 3 best ways, and there's already questions for you, but I want you to get through your 3 best ways first.
Well, we can go slowly through them. We don't have to,
Okay.
we don't have to go through all 3. But I mean, I can start with number 1 if you like.
Sure. Do you want questions or start with number 1? It's up to you.
I don't think it's up to me. I think this is your show.
No, it's our show. It's everybody's show. It's not okay.
Yes.
So, all right, let's start with. Well, guess who has the first question?
Is Food Plane on?
Food Plane is back. He actually asked on Monday when you were coming back, and I told him Friday. Then you told him this Friday, so he's back. So, before that, frequency of event process hello. Of course, the Food Plane says hello to everybody here. And his first question, we talk a lot about food and exercise, but how much does emotional stress really affect the heart over time?
Oh, gotcha.
So, I mean, that kind of tails with your original question of, what do you think about when you love your heart? And my response is to not do things that hurt it. Emotional stress, more than burgers and fries, and I'm not kidding. Emotional stress hurts the heart. Like, I know it hurts our feelings, but it's physically hurting our heart. That cortisol that goes through the vagus nerve. So your vagus nerve from the brain goes through your heart, your lungs, and the branches end in the stomach. So every time we're worried, we're sad, we're bothered, we refuse to forgive, we've got way too much to do, even if you're not sleeping. But emotional stress releases the most cortisol, and it literally tortures the heart. I mean, it's drip, drip, drip. So it causes the heart to beat unnaturally. It creates thicker layers of muscle to protect itself. So now the heart's not pliable, it's not beating properly. It literally can stop. So emotional stress is one of the most damaging things that we can do to the heart.
Okay. I'll do another Food Plane question because he's got too many, and then we'll get to some of your points. He goes, what are some of the early warning signs of heart trouble that people often ignore or misinterpret?
Yeah, so, there's a reason why high blood pressure is called the silent killer, but high cholesterol is also a silent killer. So we don't actually realize. So when you're getting chest pains, it's almost too late by then.
Oh, wow.
So I would say for a man, honestly, erectile dysfunction issues would be a number 1 sign that you're having trouble in the heart, because the heart has to get so much blood to that part of the body very quickly. And if that's not happening, there's something wrong with the heart. So that's important. For a female, it's not always that clear. But if you're having low energy, you're feeling a little lethargic, you're just you're having lack of motivation because you just don't have the energy, those are good signs that there's trouble in the heart. Because when the heart's pumping and moving blood everywhere, then your circulation is optimum. So that's another thing too, is poor circulation. If you're finding that you have not necessarily cold hands and cold feet, but numbness or tingling in your extremities, like we're having trouble with the heart.
Okay. I'll just add one more comment. Food Plane says mental health and heart health really seem more connected than people realize.
100%.
All right. Oh, man, it's going to be one of those mornings, I can tell. I can tell already. Food Plane says, thank you, Dr. Vibe, for asking my questions. We appreciate you back. And he goes, wow, to what Carolyn is sharing. So, Carolyn, I'm going to let you now at least start point one. Okay.
Okay, we'll put point one. So, 3 ways to love your heart. Number 1 is to create healthy heartbeats. So your heart beats all by itself. You don't have to tell it to beat. But when you create healthy heartbeats, that really strengthens your heart. And so one way to do it that's common to everyone is exercise. So when you engage in muscular exercise, but especially cardio exercise, you make your heart beat faster. When you do that, you actually strengthen the heart muscles. I mean, it's really easy to attack your abs or your biceps or your triceps through weightlifting and muscular exercise. But you can't do that for the heart. There's no, anchor to pull it to just strengthen its muscle. But when you force heartbeats, that actually makes the heart stronger. When you just never forget that your heart is a muscle. When it has good, healthy, muscular tissues in there, all the right protein and calcium and water, when that heart is strong, it can pump without breaking a sweat. So exercise is one way for sure, but another way is hydrotherapy. So not everybody loves that, and I know I just have to keep coming back to it. But when you go from a hot sauna to a cold pool, you cause your heart to rapidly beat, and that's so healthy for it. It gets the blood moving all through the body, which means your immune system, your white blood cells are also moving. Now, if you can't make it out to our retreat for me to take you from sauna to cold plunge, you can create that effect in your shower. So after you've washed up, put the water on as hot as you can stand, just for 15-30 seconds, and then turn as much of that hot off so you're going as cold as you can stand.
Okay.
Your heart will beat so rapidly, and then you go back to hot and then back to cold. Do that 3 times, and if it's in the morning, finish with cold. Okay. You will feel so rejuvenated. Your heart will love you. So again, you're forcing heartbeats. But I mean, as the food plane mentioned, if you're forcing heartbeats through the chemical cortisol or adrenaline, that's detrimental. But when you're using exercise, hydrotherapy, and laughter, the more you laugh, you get your heart to beat faster. Your heart loves that. The Bible says that merry heart is good like medicine, and it's literally medicine for you to laugh. So number 1, the way to love your heart is to help it, to give it healthy, fast heartbeats.
Whoa,
I've heard that term before. Fast heartbeats. Yeah, and both Ryan and I, when we heard, both saw.
I know, I saw both of your faces.
Yeah, what do you mean by that? Oh my gosh! You're oh. So food plane saying this is great information. Also, Frequency Event Pro says, I'm allergic to problems, stress, and poverty. I'm noticing that going to bed early is doing body good. Looking to start a walking club just now. Okay.
So when you're walking, it can't be just casual walking. You've got to walk very briskly to get that heart rate up, get your arms up over your heart. You'll look like the neighborhood silly, but that's the kind of walking that your heart really needs.
Okay. So just resetting here, we are talking with Carolyn Nichol, Certified Holistic Nutritionist of the Energy Shack Juice Bar, and we couldn't fit it all in, but Whisk Gluten-Free Bakery on the 3 best ways to love your heart health. And just a few things on if you want to get in touch with Carolyn, there is the website, EnergyShackJuiceBar.com, email address info@EnergyShackJuiceBar.com, Instagram, The Energy Shack Juice Bar, Facebook, Energy Shack Juice Bar, phone number 647-637-6755. And I know people, she's global. So if it is in your area code, email, she'll do the Zoom call with you. If you have any questions about health, physical health, email her at info@EnergyShackJuiceBar.com. Tell you it's on the Morning Vibe. If you want to do consultations, there is the link there. And a lot of this is on the platforms you're watching this live on replay. Special offer, $49 instead of $110 when you mention the Morning Vibe or the Dr. Vibe show. So email. And so we're up to date with more coming in. Oh, here we go. Food Play has another question. Is cholesterol the best indicator of heart health, or are newer markers like inflammation more important? Good question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so first of all, most people should realize that getting their blood work done and seeing their cholesterol levels, as advanced as we are in the medical system, it doesn't mean your cholesterol's at good levels if it shows at good levels. A lot of people, so when the body has too much cholesterol, it breaks them down into myocellular lipids, small, tiny little fat molecules. That's not showing up on blood work until they have accumulated to something great. So cholesterol levels are not always the best indicator. Other things that you want to look at is I don't want to get technical here, but your ALT levels. How's your liver functioning? So if your liver's having trouble, most likely your heart's having trouble, because that means the liver isn't filtering out all the toxins properly, which means those toxins are going back through your heart, because blood, in its circular motion goes back through. The other thing that's an indicator that you're having trouble in the heart, outside of, cholesterol levels or high blood pressure, is what is your EGFR? What's your kidney function like? Because if your kidney function is low, that means that the blood going through the kidneys is too acidic, toxic, and it's causing the kidney function to be low. So if it's too acidic for the kidneys, it's too acidic for the heart as well. But we don't take the thermometer of the heart, right? We're not testing the blood at the heart level, but we test it at the kidney level. So knowing your kidney function is also an indicator of what's happening in the heart.
Wow.
Yeah, gotcha.
Wow.
So then are those tests that you can request from the doctor, or is it, because I know men were asked to go get our physical, but typically they'll do the blood test, and like the food plane is saying they're checking for cholesterol or blood pressure, but are there things that we should be requesting for them to do as well?
If I want to look at somebody's blood work, I want to see what their ALT levels are, and that will help me understand what's happening at the liver, and your EGFR. Most people that are over 50 or even 40, the doctor normally checks those levels, but sometimes not. But I mean, you don't have to know those terms. I would just, when you're requesting your blood work, ask your doctor, can you also check my liver and kidneys? And they will add that into your blood work. It's no extra charge. And then I'm happy to look at blood work through any consultation and just give a deeper look to see what's happening. Because, your doctor might say, everything looks fine here, but your ALT is really climbing. That's trouble when it's even on the high end of normal.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Oh, very cool.
Okay. Wow. Let's move to number 2, because I'm saving the questions. They're piling up, but I'm saving. I want to make sure you get through your points.
So number 2 is really simplistic. Okay. Thin out your blood. Thin blood makes the heart work less. Thick blood is trouble. So the second way to love your heart is keep your blood thin. This is important because when the blood viscosity is so thick, The heart literally has to pump so much harder. You don't want to exhaust any muscle. So having thin blood means do what Dr. Vibe just did. Drink your water.
Yes.
Most people that are having high blood pressure or trouble in the heart or circulation issues are literally dehydrated. Now, many people drink a lot of water, but because they consume caffeine or their food choices are almost always cooked meals, you use up a lot of water to digest that meal, and caffeine is a diuretic. So for every cup of coffee you drink, you lose almost 2 cups of water. For every cup of tea, green tea, white tea, black tea, you might be drinking hot chocolate. You have an energy drink. You can drink so much water in the day, but you're losing extra water just because you're consuming caffeine. So it's not just about drinking water, but it's the absence of things that dehydrate you. So keeping your blood thin is important by water drinking, eliminating things that dehydrate you, and eating high water concentrated foods like this beautiful lettuce leaves beside me on the screen. Okay.
Yes.
So, a cucumber is 90% water. Your apple's like 70% water. Consume foods that are high in water before you jump into your cooked meal. Have a big salad, then eat your curry chicken or curry goat.
No, oxtail.
Team oxtail. Curry goat.
Yeah, it was funny. I thought I don't
I was like, who in the audience are you talking to? Not me.
Before your oxtail, have your salad. Before your breakfast healthy portion of oatmeal, have your fruits. Have high water concentrated foods. Pick up your water intake and get rid of things that dehydrate, including, of course, processed food, a bag of chips, even popcorn dehydrates you, no matter how healthy you're going to say that it is.
Okay.
Makes sense. Right. Makes sense.
Okay, so let's hit to another set of questions here. So Food Plane is on fire says, can someone be physically fit and still have poor heart health?
Yes, 110%.
Wow.
It's just like the skinny fat person, as someone would say. So I've met quite a few clients that are literally underweight, but their body's loaded with cholesterol. Mm-hmm. And so the person who's physically fit, there's a couple categories. Number one, that person that's like a super gym rat, most of them, and I'm sorry to say a gym rat because that's just not even good 2 words together, a person who loves to go to the gym, okay? That type of person most likely is taking supplements, high amino acids, creatine, caffeine, pre-workout drinks, damage. So I was recently working with a young person. He has been using those supplements for the last 2 years. He's so young, not even 30, and already kidney damage from the creatine supplements and from the caffeine pre-workouts. So you could be fanatically working out, doing your heart damage because of the supplements that you're taking. You should not be taking any supplements, just eating healthy food while you're working out. And then, of course, someone could be active. Maybe they're not fanatical about working out and they don't take all those supplements, but they're super duper stressed out. I'm telling you, you can work out every day. You can eat a whole foods plant-based diet, and you will never do yourself as much damage as a happy person eating takeout food and never working out if you're stressed out. So the emotionally stressed out person that's working out a lot, keeping their body in shape and eating healthy can create just as much damage just because they're emotionally stressed out. So physically fit does not mean you have heart health. It helps if you have the other categories checked off.
Good to hear on that one. Next conversation piece. Michelle says, this may be an unintelligent question. No question is unintelligent, but is there such a thing as healthy saturated fat?
Yeah, that's actually a highly intelligent question. So coconut oil and palm oil are both saturated fats that are extremely good for brain health. Yeah, so there is such a thing as a healthy saturated fat, in my opinion. I know that other practitioners have a difference of opinion when it comes to coconut oil and palm oil, but I believe and have experienced the health benefits of both.
Gotcha. And with coconuts, is there any benefit to drinking coconut water like versus just traditional water? Or is there anything wrong with coconut water?
Ryan is hoping on
I knew this was going to come up.
Just
I'm just scared by it.
So coconut water can be a very healthy part of a person's diet. However, it is no substitute for water. So if you do want some coconut water, it would be consumed while fasting or in the morning or at night on an empty stomach. But between your meals, it should be water and only water.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, we got good questions. Let me go. Food plan again. Is heart disease prevention different for men versus women?
Actually, the statistics are showing that more women are actually dying from heart attacks than men in the last, I think it's 5 or 10 years. So there's ultimately no big difference. Generally, a man's heart is a little bit bigger than a woman's heart, where men are more muscular than women are, just genetically speaking. But women are also a lot more stressed out and emotionally stressed out than men. However, men also have that emotional stress in the sense that, women sometimes yell it out and share it out, where men keep it built up inside, which is super dangerous for cortisol dumps. So no, the prevention is not different for men and women, and both are equally almost experiencing heart disease as the #1 killer still in America.
And also, too, I can again, I'm no scientist, but maybe more women in the workplace, more stress, having to lead families on their own. It just seems that there's a lot of potential root causes for those statistics.
I'm going to say something that might sound a little unconventional, but I'm happy to, share the person that I am. I really don't believe women should ever be in the workforce. I believe that with all my heart. And I know that I'm a working woman, and I know that I, share the ownership of 2 businesses, but I don't believe this was God's design. We were not meant to be on demand and working and also trying to take care of a family. A man has a huge role to play in the upbringing of his children, but the woman is the heart of the home. And it's very difficult as a working woman to be that heart for your children, for your husband. I do believe in the man being the provider and the woman being able to provide in different ways. If she could sew or knit or garden and sell those foods from her garden and have her family involved and be able to, learn to use your skills and make some clothing and even sell those things, or doing an online business or something where your children are involved. But to take a woman out of the home and put her in the workforce away from her family, I think has crashed the entire family unit. But because of the demands of life are so high and the cost of living is so high, we have no choice but to have 2 working parents. But I believe there's so much stress on a woman emotionally, because it's unnatural for us to balance work life with home life, because we were never supposed to do that in the first place.
Gotcha.
I'm going to have all these women's hate groups after me.
Hey, you are free to have your opinions here, so no worries about that. Number 3, because I think the rest of the time we can just go questions crazy, but I want to make sure we get number 3 in.
So number 3, believe it or not, is probably the best way to make your heart happy. Dr. Vibe, you're going to love this. I'm sure, Ryan, you will too. But service to others. is the best way to make your heart happy. And it's actually scientific. In fact, in 2012, there was a study done by the American Psychological Association. And they did a study on, I think it was like 13,000 individuals, and they studied them for years until, they passed away. And the project was for them to do volunteer service and to make volunteering of your time part of your weekly schedule. And so what they noticed is that those people who were just like, I'm on this study, I have to volunteer, did not live as long as the people that said, I love this. I love feeding the homeless. I love going to the nursing home and making this elderly happy. They live longer. There was a much longer mortality rate for those who did genuine service to others. And I think it was over 10 years. Actually serving others and doing genuine, selfless acts of love, hoping for nothing in return, and you feel genuine about that. You don't feel like this is a waste of my time, or you're doing it to please somebody else. Maybe your spouse loves to volunteer and you tag along, but genuinely doing acts of kindness and love for people that have no way to return that to you actually makes your heart physically genuinely happy, because you release endorphins and serotonin and all those good happy hormones.
You know what? And I know there's a lot of even recent surveys that bear Carolyn's point that the best way for your health happiness is service. Serve people. Yeah. Serve people. Carolyn, you're blowing this place up. You know that? There are the comments are flying. I'm going to just comment. Paul Osborne, good morning, family. He actually co-hosts with me on Sunday evenings, Black Men Can Talk. So
I love it.
Check it out there. Also, let me just see. Frequency of rent promotions after your last comment. Drop the mic. You have some agreement. Paul Osborne says, I agree with the value of service for others. Ray, good morning, Ray, says, I agree with Carolyn's comment. We have seen the decline of society as a result since the 60s and 70s. Another person in agreement. Also, Food Plane, like Little House on the Prairie. I love that show. Are people old enough to, how many people? Well, I think a lot of people remember that show that are here. There's some people who go,
absolutely. I mean, my daughter's 25. She's read the whole series. I think that.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no. Little House on the Prairie. I mean, that's going to be forever.
Okay. All right. Let's get to some more questions. Food Plane. What role does sleep quality play in preventing heart disease?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, awesome question. So here's the thing is that if you're not getting 7 to 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep, your body in the morning starts to release cortisol as if you were emotionally stressed out. So you could be the most chill, relaxed person in the whole world. Nothing bothers you. You don't get emotionally wound up. But if you're not sleeping, your body's in stress because it has to release cortisol to keep you awake. Without cortisol, you can't function. So cortisol naturally rises in the morning and it naturally slows down at night. But if you stay up past 11 o'clock, your cortisol starts rising again. And after midnight, it doubles the amount because we're going unnaturally against the circadian rhythm. And so the other thing works is that if you even went to bed at 10 o'clock, but you were up all night, waking up, using the bathroom, can't sleep, you finally start your day at 7, you've only really had 4 hours of sleep. You might be a really laid back person, but your body now, instead of that small cortisol rise in the morning, it's going to give a big one. And cortisol is super damaging when it's not put out in its healthy small forms. So sleep quality has a huge role to play in heart health because that vagus nerve goes right through your lungs, your heart, and finishes in the stomach. So your heart is hammered on every time cortisol is released.
I love that name, vagus nerve. Like, that's a very interesting name, Vegas nerve and Las Vegas and gambling and stress. I'm going, no, I
I've
just
never
thought
put
that.
the
I'm
two
going,
together.
yeah, I'm going, is there any relationship there? In the house this morning, Dr. Tachi, good to see you as always. Food Plane says, Carolyn always comes with the goods. That's par for the course. Here's a really important story to share. Ray says, my father had a heart attack and died around 50 years old.
No.
Gotcha.
In my 40s, I used to have anxiety. I would suffer the same fate. I had to work hard to get over that anxiety, which would have probably killed me. Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah,
Thank you for
anxiety
being
is
so
real.
open.
Anxiety is real. And the thing about the human body, it's really amazing. Like if a bear jumps in the room right now, of course, cortisol is going to rise. The whole process of releasing glucose, taking your blood away from your organs into your muscles instead, so I can like fight that bear or run away. So, I mean, that's a serious process. I mean, I'm sure we don't have the experience with bears, but like even if a dog or a deer jumps in front of your car, that immediate slam on the brake. So your body responds to those situations by taking cortisol through that vagus nerve, making your heart go really fast so you could have a lot more air to take in so that you could run away from that bear, or, and it takes blood away from your stomach, your liver, your pancreas, and it brings it to your muscles with all its glucose so you can pound on that brake or run really fast. So the thing about the human body is incredible is that it can't tell the difference between a bear that jumps in your room, a dog that jumps in front of your car, or that thought that you're thinking that it might happen.
Wow.
So
Gotcha.
It's the same exact reaction. And the problem with anxiety is that, sure, it doesn't happen on this large scale, but it's got the Chinese torture method. It's drips, 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 drips all through the day. Every time you have that thought, blood's leaving the organs that need the blood, going to the muscles, sugars going to the muscles, sugars being released, your heart is being forced to pump, your lungs is being forced to take in air. That's ultimately an anxiety attack. So thoughts are interpreted to your body the same way something that's physically happening. So I'm glad to hear Ray's story that he worked at it. He was intentional about capturing those thoughts, putting them in the right place, unpacking them maybe. Don't just keep going through life and having those sad moments by yourself without getting help of, how to unpack that, because anxiety can literally kill you even before, all the fast food in the world.
This is really good. This is really, really, really good. Someone from LinkedIn, Elio, says, great show. Thank you, Elio. Thank you. We
appreciate you joining.
Food Plane says, well said. I think you've become president of the Carolyn Nichol fan club. I think we're going to
get him his badge for sure.
He also says, be anxious for nothing. I hear you. I hire you.
And again, as you are probably going to go to the next comment, I do want to say thank you, Carolyn. I do have to jump and get ready for this next meeting, but always good seeing you, and we'll touch base
on Monday, Ryan.
And I'll never forget oxtail again. I can't believe I did that. Curry goat. What was I thinking? That's my husband's favorite.
Oh, well, that's why it's top of mind, so it's all good.
Take care, Ryan. Have a good one.
Take care, Ryan. Take care.
Later.
All right, that's good. So Ryan is off. Okay, there we go. So some other comments here. Dr. Tachi says, I read the whole Little House on the Prairie series when I was in 3rd grade. Oh my gosh. 3rd grade, Little House on the Prairie. All right.
Yeah, those thoughts, those memories don't leave you. Those are, it's good. That's Little House on the Prairie. It's the way it should be.
Oh, look at Food Plane. In fact, the wife's name was Carolyn.
Oh, is that true?
I don't know. I don't remember the show that much, but more. Okay, so here we go. Dr. Chai says, interesting, because people may not think of anxiety as potentially harmful.
Yeah, it's not just potentially harmful, it's harmful.
There you
It's
go.
harmful. It's different, like good stressors, like, they're, again, if that bear jumps into the room and I run away, my body can deal with that because, it might take me a day to recover, but your system can recover from that. What it has trouble recovering from is the small little bears popping its head, popping its head, popping its head all through the day. That's the danger. When you have little stressors once in a while, it's your body can recover from that. It's those small drips throughout the day, every thought, oh, my boss is in the room again, or that bill is just I still can't pay it. Those thoughts, it drips cortisol. That's what's so dangerous. We have to, the best advice that I can give to somebody, I believe was the food plane who had brought it out. In Philippians 4:8, it says to be anxious for nothing, but in everything through prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. So even if you're not a Christian, I will tell you that just counting your blessings every time you have an anxious
Are you two reading each other's minds? Because he just put it there, be anxious for nothing.
Yeah, so every time you have an anxious thought, you can counteract, you can change the chemical release from cortisol to endorphins by, so here you are thinking, my boss is making me crazy. Just instead of dwelling on that, God, I'm so grateful I have a job. So grateful there's a paycheck coming in on Friday. So grateful that there are people in this room that do care and value me. So grateful that I have a mind that can learn. I can get up from this table and walk to the bathroom because I actually have legs and I actually have movement. Like, just start counting your blessings, no matter how silly they are, but just start with thanksgiving, and then you could say a little prayer afterwards, like, please give me a new boss. But start with that attitude of gratitude, count your blessings, and you will actually counteract the dangers of cortisol, which is, ultimately the most danger for your heart.
Food plane goes, come on now. Okay.
I'll take my preacher hat off.
There I know you be you. You be you.
I really am.
I know you are. You know what's wonderful? There are so many questions that I won't even get.
I'm here because I finished number 3.
Yes, good. That's why I said get through 3 of them, because
we're done.
Because there's so many questions. I won't even get a chance to answer a question, but it's all audience, not me. So let's go. Food Plane says, how important is fiber, and do you think we get enough?
So I think we get the wrong fiber. Which is actually inflammatory causing. I think a lot of people, when they think fiber, they think, whole wheat bread and bran flakes and Metamucil, bran muffins. That's what we think of when we think fiber. But unfortunately, the wheat causes inflammation and will actually cause constipation rather than good, healthy bowel movement. So fiber is so important because if you don't dump your garbage out, when that garbage truck comes, you're going to have a house that stinks. And if you are not having regular bowel movements every day, you are going to have a body that stinks. So it's very, very important that you're eliminating for every meal that you have, because there's waste associated with every meal. That's number 1. Number 2, the kind of fiber that we need to get that actually pull toxins is found in the soluble and insoluble fiber of lettuce and cucumbers and celery and apples. This is where you're getting your good soluble fiber. That, kale, it's so fibrous, but it's hard for the body to digest. I wouldn't be eating that in your salad raw. Carrots, a little bit on your salad is okay, but to gnaw on a big carrot without cooking it, those fibers are so hard for your body to take apart. So some of those, a little bit of raw kale is okay, a little bit of carrots is okay, but you need your lettuces, your cucumbers, your arugula, your easy to chew on and digest fibers. That's what keeps your bowels clean.
Okay. Next question. it never made it never made sense to me to see thin people with high blood pressure.
That's real because anxiety is real, no matter how fat or skinny you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. More electrolytes in coconut water, correct or no?
Yes, that is correct. But again, don't replace coconut water with plain water. And there's so much electrolytes in salad. I know I sound like a broken record.
No, I eat salad all the time. I'm actually in a phase right now that I'm just eating salad and vegetables and water. I'm just because of a mindset right now. I'm in a salad mode and I love it.
Awesome.
I love it. I love it. All right. Question here. Explain erectile dysfunction and heart health.
Okay. So a man's male organs are 95% dependent on circulation. Circulation is all about the blood viscosity. So if you don't have thin blood, and you have very thick blood, or if your blood sugar is high, your cholesterol is high, I mean, it's just the reality of, if you have a clogged hose, even if you turn on the tap, how long will it take for that water to properly pour out? And if there's rocks or something or any debris inside that hose, it's not going to come out. It's going to shoot, it's going to spit. It's not really going to come out properly. You want a clean hose. As soon as that heart pumps, you want it to go right to your male organs. So if your heart is weak because it's been damaged by cortisol, if your heart is weak because you don't exercise, it's not going to have a very hard pump. That's number one. And number two, even if you have a strong heart, but then you have very thick blood or sugary blood or lots of toxins in the way, that heart has to pump harder, which is what high blood pressure is all about, just to get the blood to the penis. So here's the problem, is that when we take things like Viagra, all Viagra does is make the heart pump really hard in order to get the blood there very quickly. But that again is an unnatural way and a dangerous way to pump the heart, because if there's debris in the way or if the blood is very thick, you're causing the heart to do something that it wasn't naturally able to do. And it's not the outside force like exercise or hydrotherapy that is gentle and healing. It's dangerous and aggressive. So many people who take Viagra end up with serious heart conditions. So I hope that helps with the connection.
Yeah. Well, it's a natural.
It's completely
it's
unnatural.
like artificial, and it's not natural.
It's an artificial stimulant for the heart. So if you're drinking a good amount of water, you're eating your salads, your blood sugar's not high, you're not super stressed out, you should have good erectile function. And if your cholesterol's high, you're eating a lot of animal products, there's a lot of uric acid in your blood, you are most likely going to have erectile dysfunction. And caffeine, remember, is a diuretic. Caffeine is one of the biggest problems for prostate issues.
Dr. Tachi says, sheesh. Okay, no problem. Let's go to frequency of event promotions. Goes, what is a healthy amount of weight to shed or lose month to month?
Very good question. So the healthy amount is, you generally don't want to lose much more than 2 to 3 pounds a week. Otherwise, the liver could get very overloaded with the amount of fat that it has to take out. However, it is normal, and it happens on our programs all the time, that in the first month that you make a change, you could lose up to 5 pounds a week. But you don't want to keep on that path. You want to be in the place where you're losing anywhere from 1.5 to maximum 3 pounds a week on a regular basis.
Hopefully that'll go along with his proposed walking program, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Food Plane says, how important is K2 in making I don't mix up in clearing any calcium buildup in the arteries. How can we get it in food and or supplements necessary here?
So K2 has a role to play. I feel like, I feel like this whole K2 thing is another new trend that everybody is talking about. That I think is getting more light on the subject than is needed, because if you're just following a whole foods, healthy, and I believe plant-based diet, you will get enough K2. But yes, it's important for even your vitamin D absorption. You can't really absorb vitamin D without having K2. It does for sure help with blood coagulation. It's helping with, helping to remove debris, including calcification from the bloodstream, no question about it. Now, where are you going to get K2? Generally, it's found in fermented foods. So there's a big push on cheese and dairy products because it's high in K2, but it's also found in soy products. It's also found in your fermented foods like your sauerkraut. But vitamin K is also found in just your green leafy vegetables. So I wouldn't be focusing on, I have to supplement. Supplements are never the answer, but as you eat a whole foods plant-based diet, you really shouldn't even have to think about whether you're getting enough K2.
All right, next question from my man, Paul Osborne. Are there natural ways to deal with anxiety? Does anxiety affect heart health? I think you chatted a little bit about this before, but I think you covered that, I think
Yeah, to some degree. So if really, on a superficial level, and I don't want to say superficial because it helps a lot of people, of just as soon as that thought comes in your mind that is an anxious thought, to automatically counteract that thought with counting your blessings, like physically helps. Different chemicals are poured out. But also if you are, really struggling with anxiety, and it's been, I think some people have it wrapped up in their DNA, to be honest, but you could take something like an adaptogen, like rhodiola, which can help you adapt to the environment naturally. It's just a plant. It's called rhodiola, RHODLIA. So that is an adaptogen that can help you relax. You might have some nerve damage. So some omegas or B vitamins can help to build back some of your neurons and myelin sheath, so that you can physically handle problems better, because a lot of people are anxious or worried because they've lost their actual physical mechanisms. But a big thing for anxiety is stay away like kryptonite from caffeine, because caffeine hijacks your adenosine receptors. Adenosine is the hormone that helps you put the brakes on racy emotions. So if you're consuming caffeine, you're not really producing much adenosine. And so you no longer have the brakes to put on emotions that are out of control, because you're not producing the hormone that controls it. So if you have any kind, I don't think anybody should touch caffeine, but it should be kryptonite for those people that have anxiety.
and I always say this to Carolyn, that also includes the decaf people.
It does include the decaf. Yes.
Right? That also includes the decaf people. Just for an FYI on that. All right, let's move to some more stuff. All right. What do we got here? There we go. So Food Plan says a lot of people focus on exercise, but forget that recovery and rest are part of heart health too. It seems like heart health advice keeps changing. What should people actually focus on and ignore?
So I think that we need to focus on what is in our reach, what is affordable, what is practical, and you don't need, you can get all these fancy machines and fancy exercise equipment. You can take all these expensive supplements like a coenzyme Q10 that helps add oxygen to your bloodstream. So now your heart is doing better. Guess what? If you went outside for a walk in the sunshine, you would get more oxygen in your bloodstream, and that sun hitting your eyes, yes, my friends, even in the winter, will actually help to create serotonin. So I think we need to just simplify it. I mean, I don't have any kind of fancy gym, but I had the most awesome workout this morning. So you can just, use your body exercises, few resistance bands, some weights, and just get moving. Do some form of exercise, laugh with your family, do some acts of amazing service to people. Mother Teresa lived to like 87 years old. Her whole life was an act of service. So if we would just do some simple things that are practically free, like going outside, getting fresh air, standing in the sunshine, doing exercise in the comfort of your own home, getting to bed early, eating foods that are the cheapest in the world, like lettuce, beans, dried beans, lettuce, cabbage, apples. These are still the cheapest foods in the world. So really simplifying things and not being focused on all these supplements and these trends and all these machineries and equipment that we need to buy, and really take the time to do service to others and spend that quality time. Sit down with your children, like laugh, reminisce of stories, write in a journal, unpack your thoughts, get help if you need it. But, just really focusing, pulling back from this day-to-day rush and incredible high demand of your time, and focusing on what matters most is probably the best things to focus on. Laugh a lot and sing and dance. Those things are heart healthy and they're free.
Even if it's dancing on TikTok. So I'm gonna put a question for the audience on all the platforms, but also I'm gonna put it up on the screen so Carolyn can see the question I asked for the audience. What's one small change you've made or want to make this year to take better care of your heart or overall health? Drop it in the comments so we can learn from each other.
That's great.
So if you're up to it, let's hear what you got. Man, Food Plane is, he's been away for a while. He's coming back.
He's catching up.
A lot of, quote, healthy, unquote, foods are ultra processed now. How does that affect heart health?
Yeah. So, our processed food is processed. It's the problem with the processed food is that, number one, it's super hard to digest because it's manufactured in a way that it's literally bound together with binders. So whether it's your burgers or veggie burgers, or whether it's your, potato chips, whatever it is. So you've got seed oils on them. Seed oils are highly, highly, highly inflammatory. Clogging arteries with this unhealthy saturated fat that your body cannot process, zero fiber, so there's nothing to pull these toxins out, heavy sodium, and anything you take out of a package is compromised. There's some sort of chemical preservative to keep it in there. So, understanding that if your blood doesn't move, your heart stops beating. We saw that in your initial video. It's the first thing that starts working and it's the last thing to go. So you've got to take care of your heart or nothing else works. And we just did a seminar last night on the brain on fire. And, we were also just talking about like your brain actually tells your heart what to do. So having those anxious thoughts, it causes a double whammy. It makes you lose your memory, your cognitive thinking, and it affects your heart's proper rhythm of beating. So, ultra processed foods, super, super, super dangerous. And honestly, look at your budget and really think, how much am I spending on takeout and processed food? and carve out the time. Put that money in an investment. This world is so crazy. Finances are, hard to come by. Money's hard to come by. Take the money you're spending in takeout and go buy yourself some beans, some cabbage, some lettuce, and just start preparing your own food. Your heart will thank you. Your budget will thank you. Your future will thank you. It takes some time, but I think we like to think we're busier than we are. And you're not going to be 65, 75, 80 years old saying, yeah, I'm so glad I worked that hard because my body's a mess today. You're going to wish you would have done things differently. And now you have the opportunity to do so.
Dr. Tachi asks, does kale become easier to digest when it is wilted a bit from a lemon juice and olive oil dressing?
Yeah, so I'm like a big raw food eater, but I rarely eat raw kale unless I have really massaged it in or chopped it up with lemon juice and olive oil for sure. But the best way to consume kale is actually slightly heated. The fibers are so tough that the digestive system has a really hard time taking them out when they haven't been softened by heat.
Okay, good. Blue Plain says your thoughts on einkorn as compared to the flour we know today. Any connection with issues we see come up since they've changed the wheat?
Yeah, so I'm not a fan of the einkorn wheat because I know that it's supposed to be the original, but I don't know if it's because our body has recognized regular wheat molecules and then it sees the einkorn, that bloating still happens, but there seems to still be a problem in my experience with the einkorn, which is original wheat. So I haven't been to Europe to have their wheat, and I understand that it's not genetically modified like ours, but I know that I've had both wheats, and so someone who's celiac could never have either, but most of the population should just avoid wheat. If you want to have the einkorn, I guess just do it once in a while, but I find that it has a milder reaction to my body, and I'm not wheat intolerant. I just take it out of my diet, but it still has a negative reaction to my body.
Okay. Food Plain says it's important to know the other vitamins you need if you are taking some kind of supplement. Also, because I noticed many people are saying I take vitamins so-and-so, but what many don't understand is that you need other vitamins to help you absorb the one you have. Any thoughts? Any thoughts?
So I really think most of us are over supplementing, and most of us, if we eat a whole food diet, actually don't really need any vitamins or supplements. Okay. So I'm not a big supplement person, and I understand you can't absorb iron unless you have vitamin C. You can't really absorb vitamin D unless you have some K in your body. But if we eat properly, drink properly, and believe it or not, fast regularly. So the thing about fasting is that it gives your body a chance to use stored nutrients. When we eat so much, we take all these supplements, your body doesn't get a chance to use them. You force your body to use stored nutrients, get rid of dead cells that are holding on to nutrients, use them and recycle them. So eating and supplementing, I'm not a fan of supplements, plain, I'm really not. I know some people need them, but if you eat properly, you shouldn't really need supplements. Fasting actually allows your body to use these nutrients that you've kind of overloaded yourself with in your day-to-day eating and living.
Okay. Poopin says, makes sense. Let's see if we got some things here. What about insulin and high blood pressure?
So generally, I'm not going to say that insulin doesn't affect high blood pressure, but generally the two are not necessarily connected. So I'm not sure if you're asking about if someone's insulin resistant or if their blood pressure is high. But generally, if your pancreas is having trouble producing insulin, of course, any kind of stress in your body will create a little elevation in your blood pressure. But I'm not sure the connection that he's asking. So if you're insulin resistant, that usually means you have a buildup of cholesterol, which means your blood pressure can also go high. Again, it's kind of just a simple question that could have a dynamic answer in many ways.
Okay. To your question, since last year I decided to take sugar out of my lifestyle. Once in a while, I'll have a pastry or 2 or 3. Just kidding. I just don't have it as part of my life. Ray comes here. Ray has said, I have never taken any supplement or vitamin. I have focused solely on proper, well-balanced diet and periodic fasting.
Amen, Ray.
100%.
He's got the
100%.
knowledge.
Ray just comes and just drops those knowledge bombs.
Yes.
Bam.
Yeah,
Bam.
because that's wisdom. That's wisdom and experience.
Absolutely. Let's see. So you have something, part of your mission is you have 8 laws of health, right?
Yes.
Which of those laws are most critical for a healthy heart?
Well, I have to be Carolyn and I have to be raw. So the 8th law of health is T. So it's new start, and you can go on EnergyShackJuiceBar.com, click on consultations to watch these 8 secrets of healing. But of all 8 laws of health, T, the last T, trust in God's divine power, is the one that helps your heart the most. Because when you learn that God works all things for good, even your job loss, even your car breaking down on the side of the road, like something good's going to come out of that, because Romans 8:28 tells you that. So trusting in God's divine power trumps nutrition, exercise, water, sunshine every time.
Okay. For someone who loves salty, fried, or processed foods, what are a few realistic first steps toward a more heart-supportive plate?
Okay, so what I would say is to get an air fryer and stop buying your French fries from outside. Okay, so go with maybe some air fried sweet potato fries or even some regular fries and put them in your air fryer. Salt is not the enemy. High sodium is the problem. So you could sprinkle some healthy pink Himalayan salt on your fries that you put in your air fryer. Switch your potato chips to a bag of popcorn. Less oil, still high in carbohydrates and sodium, but those would be 2 good shifts that I would make. Because for sure, it's not easy for someone who's used to that. So those are the first changes that I would make, and just stop with the takeout and try to use your air fryer more often. And then add that salad before you have your French fries. Add that apple before you jump into your popcorn. That way, you're still getting some of the raw foods before you have your favorites. And in that process, having more nourishing salads and whole foods, you'll begin to cleanse and change your palate.
This is good. Ray says, air fryer is the world's greatest invention.
The problem is with the air fryers is that we're bringing back the Teflon again. And Teflon is, undigestible and toxic to the human body. So that is, these air fryers are definitely great. I definitely own one in my home, but all that Teflon becomes trouble again too. I try to pick my battles, but just be mindful, like maybe put down a parchment paper before you put your potatoes in there.
Parchment paper, 100%.
Unbleached parchment paper, if I could say.
Okay. How can you tell if it's unbleached?
Oh, so if it's super white, it's been bleached. So unbleached parchment paper is a little brown.
Got it. Dr. Tatsy says, I love my air fryer. Fryer. What's it? Fryer. And Foodman says, it's amazing what you can do with an air fryer. They work. Specific question, especially for Black communities. What do you wish Black communities in particular knew about heart disease risk and the power of food and lifestyle to change that story?
Yeah. So, I mean, I was going to bring that up in one of your other questions, is that, heart disease is highest in the Black community.
Mhm.
And I think that has a lot to do with emotional stress as well, and the pressure put on them to perform and to, always, whether it's men or women, to always perform better than their white counterparts. There's no question. There's a lot of pressure generally on the Black community. But I think what we need to realize is that health has to supersede culture. So, your parents or grandparents that grew up in the islands where they're cultivating their own food and they're outside working for, to make sure their chocho trees growing, or the mangoes are coming up, they're walking miles and miles. And so that kind of lifestyle deserves, your green bananas and your dasheen and your yellow yams and your rice and peas, that, because they were burning through so much calories. So that cornmeal porridge in the morning was super important because they had 8 hours of physical labor ahead of them. But today we're eating the same food and we're not physically active.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what I want. I try to especially teach, because we have quite the Black community in the Energy Shack audience, that health has to supersede culture. So you just can't get away with that heavy cornmeal porridge anymore. You can't be eating this big bowl of rice and peas and all of these, ground provisions that put meat on the bones if you're not using or expending the energy that they give you. So sure, a little bit of green banana, but maybe we make quinoa and peas rather than rice and peas. Maybe we, switch it out to, blend a millet porridge together. It tastes almost like cornmeal, but less carbohydrates and more protein. So, there's ways you can do it right. Let's have some ackee and tofu instead of ackee and saltfish. There's
Which is very high in salt.
Super high.
Yeah.
No matter how much you soak it and rinse it and soak it and rinse it.
There you go. So NASA community talking about the parchment paper. If it's white, it ain't right. Parchment paper. And
the
then,
whiter the bread, the quicker you're dead. That's like a quote that I took from my mentor.
All right. Ray says, mine is, man, the air fryer thing, mine is stainless steel, no Teflon coating. It looks like a regular toaster oven.
I'm telling you, this Ray, he's got all the answers.
Yeah, exactly. We've got, and Ray also says, societal challenges, stress, societal challenges, microaggressions coupled with poor diet and an unhealthy lifestyle. 100%. For busy professionals who feel like they, quote, don't have the time, unquote, to eat well, what's a simple daily routine they could follow to love their heart?
If possible, before you start your crazy day where all the demands are on you, I mean, go to bed early so you can get up a little earlier. But if you could start your day with some quiet time, I mean, if you're a Christian, read your Bible. If you're not, have some quiet time, get your exercise in and get your big meal gone. So if you can just make sure your morning counts, the rest of your day falls into place. So you got some fresh air, you got your exercise, you got some quiet time in, and you had your big salad with your meal. All you're taking for your busy day is a few fruits and maybe a gluten-free bread with avocado in it or something. You don't even have to think about food. All you have to do is make sure your water bottle is filled. You're sipping on all water all through your day. You don't need the coffee because you exercised, you got good sleep, and you had a healthy meal. You are energized. And that way, the rest of the day, you're just drinking your water. When you're hungry, I'll just quickly have these fruits and this little chia pudding or whatever. How long is that going to take you to properly eat and chew? Maybe 15 minutes. Probably that's all you have to give. And you can come home. You've had your 2 meals. You had your water. You had your exercise. All you have to do is brew a cup of herbal tea and get yourself to bed. So, for that busy person, really try, if you can do it, to get everything, give yourself that time in the morning. My morning time's so guarded because like I'm a busy professional. So I get all of it done. Before I came on the show, I had my salad, I had my devotional time, I went outside for fresh air in the snow, and I got my exercise in. And I wasn't up at 4 a.m. I had a good sleep.
There you go. There
Okay?
you go.
So that's important.
How can families make heart healthy eating normal for kids so they don't have to, quote, unlearn, unquote, habits later in life?
Okay, so this is definitely going to come on I think our August talk of picky eaters. But here's what I would say is, parents, you're in charge. So set the stage for the rules in the home. You don't want your kids to throw up their hands saying, no, I'm not having lentil stew and brown rice. Bring me back my French fries and pizza or whatever. But what I would say is that make some new standards. So with every dinner, there's going to be a salad, and everybody has to have some of it first. Then I'll give you your chicken and your French fries or your rice or whatever you're having. So make a new rule for the home that, you know, I'm happy to give you your lunch, but there's going to be a few carrot sticks or celery sticks in there. Who knows if they're actually going to eat them or throw them away. So you have to make that rule in the morning before you have your Fruit Loops or your Pop-Tarts. Everybody's having their apples first. At dinner, before you're going to jump into, you know, just whatever you're making for dinner, that's their favorite. Everybody has to have some of the salad first. If you can just keep those things consistent, it will cleanse their palate, it will give them more nutrients, and it will set the standard for what should be a priority for their future to come.
All right. Good stuff. So if are there any common questions about heart health you wish people would ask you more often?
Are there any common questions about heart health? Well, I think that question you asked in the very beginning of, you know, what do you think of when you love your heart?
Mm-hmm.
I think people need to really process and think. Like, I mean, again, even that video that you had put in the beginning,
yeah,
like, think about it. What is this bag of chips or donut or coffee? What is it doing to my heart when I'm going to consume it? Being very thoughtful that everything that goes through these lips is going to become a part of my makeup for good or for evil. And so it's very, very important that we think about, or that, you know, the question that you asked is, what could I be doing that's possibly damaging my heart? Most people want me to answer, you know, what can I do to increase my libido or have better thinking or increase my memory? What can I do to get better sleep? Well, what can you do to not hurt your sleep? What can you do to not hurt your heart? You know, we're not thinking on the opposite side.
Right.
Right. And I think that's a question that I'd like more people to ask is, what am I doing or possibly doing that's causing the damage? Not just what can I do to help it?
Nice. So if someone is watching this and feels overwhelmed, what is one thing you want them to start doing tomorrow to love their heart?
Laugh.
Wow.
Laugh a lot. Yeah. Be happy. Just be
right.
happy, laugh. And that doesn't mean you're going to watch, you know, some sort of stand-up comedic, but maybe it could. But, you know, take some time to like talk with family members, reminisce on some of the silly things that you used to do,
Or,
you know,
or still doing.
or are still doing. Yeah. You know, laugh things off. Just really stop the stressing. It's out of control, the amount of stress that this world is under, because the demand on life, finances, and our time is so high.
Well, it's interesting, as I say to some people, if you're not laughing at yourself, someone's probably laughing at you. So you better laugh at yourself first. Ray says, as a busy professional, you can't have your day control you. If you do, you'll never win at this thing called life. I have never defined myself as busy, but rather schedule life to work best for me.
Amen.
Wow. Ray, you're dropping some serious knowledge bombs today. That for people, you need to see that.
Yeah. Life in our day controls us. And I find that, as you know, I jump back between here and Toronto a lot. And I have a really hard time when I go into Toronto. My day controls me. The store controls me. When I come to Toronto, when I come to Sudbury, I'm really in the driver's seat of my day. But it's really hard. And that's why I had to make that intentional move to leave the city, because I recognized that it was pulling me in so many directions. But for those that don't have the luxury or ability or desire to get out of the city, you really got to take Ray's advice and really schedule your life to work around what's best for you. We have to get things done. We have to perform. We have a job to do. But you've got to be intentional about, I have in my calendar, the alarm goes off, it's 1 o'clock, go for your walk. Like as if it's a client. I don't schedule people around my walk time.
Yes. Be intentional. Yes.
Yeah, you have to be intentional.
Food Plane says, love that, Ray. Also, Food Plane says, this has been great. Carolyn rocks. She always brings it. Yeah, we know that. We know. Anything else you want to share with our family today?
It's been woven throughout all the conversations, is that life has to be so much more than the day-to-day demand. It's almost artificial. It's almost artificial, the demands. People can wait. Things can wait. If you don't take care of yourself and your heart today, tomorrow might not be there for you. So be intentional about the time you go to sleep, about how much water you're drinking. Don't think, oh, I don't have time. I'm just gonna get my meal delivered today, or just quickly go through the drive-through. Don't do it. I'd rather you didn't eat and just called it a fasting day. Go and take that time to prepare your meal so you're ready for tomorrow. It's not worth it. One wrong morsel of food in your mouth creates a whole heap of issues in your heart. So be intentional about taking care of your health, because then you can do what's most important for your heart, which is be service to others. But you can't be of good service to others when you have no energy, when you're sick, and when your health is holding you back.
Okay. Food Plane says, Carolyn, when are you writing a book, or have you?
Do you know, I just spoke with my husband this weekend, and I said, we have such a story.
Yes.
That, I have written a book. It's more of a nutrition book that will be coming out this year, but I feel like there's a life book that needs to be written. One page is my perspective, and the other one is my
I like that.
Yeah.
I think that's so cool.
Because every time I talk about, we've had such a history. I don't make it pretend, but we're 27 years married, but we had 15 years of almost madness, but we stuck through it and we came through it. And today he's my knight in shining armor. If you asked me 20 years ago, I would have traded him, but not today, So, but when I ask him questions about the past, he has such a different perspective than my eyes. So I think as men and women that would read the book,
that'd be a powerful read.
Yeah,
that would be a powerful to get
they can relate to both sides of the coin.
I think that'd be such a powerful testimonial. I want first interview.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a thought, and it will soon be an action.
We'll see what comes about it with it. Ray, dropping the last two knowledge bomb comments today. First off, for folks should put usage tracker on their phones. Check phone usage. If you're using your cell phone for 5+ hours a day, you may want to self-analyze. My goal is no more than 3 hours per day.
Ray, I'm so glad you brought that, because as you asked me what my last comment was, I was toying between put social media away and, just de-stressing for the day, or just prioritizing being intentional. But I think we don't realize how much anxiety social media causes us as we scroll through, and really like how many of those houses are you building? How many of those cars are you fixing? How many of those meals and recipes are you actually making? We spend useless time on social media. I mean, this, of course, is a great use of your time, but most of us are really scrolling aimlessly, needlessly, and to our detriment, when we could use that time to exercise, to cook, to plan our meals, to go for walks without our phone. Yeah, the social media and technology, I mean, honestly, Ray, I think even 3 hours is too much. I think we need to really pull away from social media. But for some people, 3 hours, that's like so short compared to what they're doing. But yeah, we really need to pull away from social media.
Dr. Tachi says, yes, you can't live life if you're always posting about it. Dr. Tachi.
That's exactly.
And Ray says, this has been so educational and informative. This information will help us all add healthy years to our life. Stop using words like busy and stress. Slow down and enjoy life's moments.
100%.
Carolyn, on another issue, is that a Yamaha R series in the background? Nice bike.
Yeah, it sure is.
You see, Ray has got it. Ray is on it. I love it. And he says, we men block out those, quote, bad, unquote, memories once we have found our peace.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to ride on that anymore since I broke my neck on a dirt bike, but my husband loves to ride that in the summer. But in the winter, we don't have a garage here in Sudbury, so it goes in my office.
Okay. Ray says, my plan this year is to start playing soccer again, get back in that on that over 40 team. All right.
Yeah, you're never, muscles know no age. So as long as you keep the workouts going, it's and that social aspect, the people that live the longest in the world, they have healthy social lives. So that social aspect of playing on a team, getting together with your team, winning or losing. I mean, this is what matters. This is what counts.
Taking part is winning.
Taking part is winning. Exactly.
Right? Taking part is winning. Carolyn, another fantastic Friday.
Yeah, awesome. Really wonderful to be here. Take care of your heart, people. Laugh a lot. Spend some quiet time. Eat your salads. Drink your water.
Actually, another thing I like to ask people occasionally, when was the last time you played? They look at me going, what are you talking about? We all think that playing is for when we were young.
I built the best snow fort with my grandkids. I'll send you a picture. The best snow fort. We made a bedroom. We made a bathroom. We made a windowsill. I mean, playing is so important.
Absolutely. Dr. Tachi says, as usual, this was great. Thank you, Carolyn.
My pleasure. My blessing. Thank you guys for taking the time for coming on. And thank you, Dr. Vibe, for having me.
All right. Well, just want to make sure before there's information, EnergyShackJuiceBar.com, email address info@EnergyShackJuiceBar.com, Instagram, The Energy Shack Juice Bar, Facebook, Energy Shack Juice Bar, phone number 647-637-6755. She's universal, people. She does Zoom calls. So if it's out of your area code, no worries. If you have any questions about physical health for Carolyn, email it info@Energy Shack Juice Bar and say you saw in the morning vibe. We also have consultations. The link is there. Special offer is there. If you want to get a hold of Ryan, there's his email address, Ryan Oneil Knight, KN, not N. Maybe we should put, sometimes get another site called oxtail.com, but that's another conversation. If you want to touch base with me, easiest way, toplink.cc/the drvibeshow.com. And finally, you can watch replays of this epic conversation of the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Afro Caribbean Business Network, and on YouTube, and Ryan Oneil Knight on YouTube. So as we close it down, we do it this way. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions, aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. As always, don't just manage your time, manage your energy. Remember to give yourself grace. And if you're not making money, make history. Try to do both and make it better. God bless. Peace to y'all. Keep the faith, walk good, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
this whole thing of using your business with plant-based products, don't you think your life should reflect that too?
Juke him, Carolyn. Juke him. The family loves us here because they're saying Fitness IQ Can says put a wig on to get in.
God.
Oh my God.
Like the ideas are just coming fast and furious here this morning. What? Okay, look at this. Global Women Ambassador. Good morning. Look forward. Okay.